Welcome to Intimacy Evolution, the podcast that helps you enjoy deeper connection and more intimacy in your relationships. I'm Brianna Carey, relationship and intimacy coach, and together with my husband Mark, a licensed professional counselor, we're here to help couples create the relationships they crave. Relationships evolve over time, and that's okay. Let's talk about it. Have you ever felt that drop in your stomach or burning sensation of anger related to jealousy? Jealousy is a normal emotion, and if you're like us, you have felt it on more than one occasion in a relationship or even with your kids. Today, we discuss how to navigate jealousy, how to decipher what it's trying to communicate to you, and how you can use it to improve your relationships. We also discuss what the opposite of jealousy is and where you can find it. You might be surprised because you can find it everywhere, as long as you know how to recognize it. If you want more pleasure in your life, we can help. We'll share what to do next at the end of this episode. Now let's get into the show. This topic came up the other day in a variety of ways. I was sharing reflections on my journaling from that morning and some childhood wounds. And then I think you had mentioned this TED Talk.
Yeah, I was just randomly looking at topics and came across a TED Talk by Jolie Hamilton, and it was talking about jealousy and compersion and her research in that. And so through your stream of kind of consciousness and you're talking, you mentioned as parents, we want more for our kids, but at the same time, there's parts of us that are jealous of what our kids get. And so the topic of jealousy and in relationships and families and with kids and partners and all that, it was where we went for today's topic. Yeah.
So how about you dive in a little bit more definition of what each are?
Jealousy is the reason it's so difficult is because it's so complex. So it's a mixture of sadness, anger, fear, shame. It has a number of things that go into it.
Yeah.
And what makes it also difficult is it doesn't have to be real. Just like anxiety, the threat doesn't have to be real. The threat of losing the relationship doesn't have to be real. Okay. It can be, that fear, we come up with it, even if there's nothing there.
Yeah. I am being reminded of, but I can't think of the exact quote, but basically jealousy is insight into something that you desire.
Correct.
Oh, yeah. Wow. I just came up with it. That was great. And so kind of channeling back to what we were talking about as far as you might think why would you be jealous of your child? But you're not jealous for your adult self. You're jealous or saddened by the opportunities that you didn't have as a child yourself.
Yeah, things FOMO, things of fearing that you missed out and really connection and longing for a relationship that maybe didn't happen the way we wanted it to.
Yeah.
So.
Or just experiences. I think that's kind of where I was going to. I remember it now. It's an account we follow on Instagram, Our Mama Village. She shares a lot of mom parenting tips and stuff like that. She's a psychologist and she has 3 kids. And she was sharing this past week some memories from her childhood of ways that her parents parented and did things to help her through childhood. And, in that moment, I guess I don't really notice things as jealousy anymore. And I'm not saying that I don't get jealous of things, but I can reflect on them more as oh man, I've had to do a lot more work. At least it seems that way to me. Right. So that's where it came from. I was like, oh man, she got this foundation when she was a child. I'm having to dig through the muck to lay my foundation myself as an adult as I am learning to like parent as well. And so that's kind of, I think, how that tied into a lot of that.
Okay. So what specifics are you thinking?
Okay. Gonna get emotional. I don't know. There was just one that she talked about, and we've already implemented with our son, and the impact of it was just like so amazing. So she shared that when she was little, so this one instance she was talking about when she was a child, if they were getting ready for bed or they were playing, she would notice her parents talking to her stuffed animals.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And it was saying things about her in a positive light because, you know, we all know this. Somebody that's really close to you gives you praise and encouragement. Sometimes you push it off as like, oh, well, you're supposed to say things like that. And it's harder to receive them and really, but when you hear somebody talking about you to somebody else, sometimes that can make a bigger impact. And so that's what her parents would do. They'd be like, oh my goodness, Mr. Bunny, did you see that Susie was so kind to her sister today and helped her when she couldn't walk across the balance beam? I don't know, but you know what I mean? So, talking about things that they did, things that you noticed about them. And I did that with our son the other night. And holy moly, the smile on his face, we were laying in bed and he had a stuffed animal and I was like, hey, can I talk to Scout real quick? And he's like, okay, kind of gave me this like, why do you want to talk to my animal? And he's getting settled in bed and I was kind of whispering in his ear and I was like, hey, Scout, I just wanted to let you know that Remington and I had a really special day today. We got to have a mommy Remy day while and dad had the father-daughter dance. And you know what he did today? He was so thoughtful. He came shopping and we bought new shoes for sister for her dance. He was such a good big brother. And I just kind of just shared different things. And he's laying there and I just see out of the corner of my eye, he's just got this big grin on his face. Like you could tell it was like sinking in.
He enjoyed that
very much. And I cried. So yeah, just things like that you don't, you know, I can see how I'm sad that I didn't have that, but I love that I get to create that for our kids.
Yeah. Definitely.
And I think that's feeds into the compersion part.
Well, yeah, you definitely
define that, please.
Compersion is the kind of conscious turning towards joy and turning towards each other and connection. So getting joy out of seeing someone else's joy.
Yeah.
So
that is absolutely what I felt.
Yes. Let's talk about like where it's easy to identify compersion. And yeah, our kids do something they enjoy. We get joy out of watching that.
I get joy watching you wakeboard or surf.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know you're in your element and you're just like loving life.
Yeah, when people are engaging in hobbies and activities and all this other stuff. Yeah, when somebody gets a reward or like an award or they win something, that type of thing. Yeah. We often get joy out of that. Yeah. So in our relationship at times, and I think this happens with a lot of parents, our personal time, our own time, engaging in hobbies and activities or spending time with friends or outside of the relationship. So you go do something or I go do something. Yeah. And that's oftentimes where jealousy might raise up as well, because it's not that our partner is doing something. It's that we see the mirror of, hey, I don't have enough time for myself. And so what do we do when that happens?
Well, if you ignore it, it becomes resentment.
Well, that's definitely yeah. You run away from it, ignore it, you know, it does get bigger.
You may notice this could come up in ways of picking fights. So if you notice that's coming up and you're not really sure why, it could be that you perceive your partner as getting something that you're not, which is raising that jealousy bar a little bit. And once you have that realization, then you can acknowledge it, name it, and then you're able to more easily figure out a resolution, have a conversation around it and figure out how you can get that time too.
Yeah.
Whatever that may be.
Yeah. The communication part. First, we have to be aware of it.
Mm-hmm.
What unique sensation does it raise in your body? It has its own pattern inside the body that's unique for jealousy itself.
Yeah.
I can talk about mine personally. Mine usually comes in a more similar way of like warmth in that kind of anger range.
Yeah.
For me personally.
Yeah.
And so if you know the unique pattern in your body and you're aware of it and you can identify it, that's really like where we start.
Yeah. Episode 30 with Hannah Deindorfer, she highlights kind of how to do a body scan.
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of be aware of your body. So go back and listen to that episode too. And there's so many things out there. You can YouTube like breath work and body awareness and things like that too, or message us, but you have to know how you feel in your body, how those things present.
And one of the things I like to do is there's a time in your life where you felt this. And so you can go back to this time and body scan, even if it's not in the moment right now.
Mm-hmm.
I can go back to this time and think about it and visualize it and then scan my body and feel what I feel so that I can better identify it.
Yeah.
So I imagine there's times that you can think of.
Oh, let me count them. Yes. Yeah, there's definitely I think mine feels more kind of in the pit. I feel it kind of like a knot / like the dropping feeling almost when you're on a roller coaster. Like it almost kind of just like hits me and I'm just like
yeah, the fear of loss.
Okay, Mr. Psychologist, like, are we going to analyze me right now?
Well, no, I'm relating to that feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. When your stomach just sinks and
yeah.
Well, in the partnership though, let's go back to that.
Yeah.
What we're doing with it. When we're aware of it, we slow down. If you're getting to do something fun and I felt that way, I would
I'm just reflecting because you usually are just so hyped for me to go and finally take time for myself that I know that.
Yeah, it's true. So maybe you, and then maybe we should talk about what you do.
Flip that because totally me. So go ahead.
Okay. So what do you do when I'm enjoying myself or busy or even at work at times?
I pout.
Outside the house?
I pout.
You pout. Does that work out well for you? I know when she pouts sometimes. I don't really give it much space.
Yeah, and then it then I get so upset because he doesn't feed into it. I'm like, fine.
I'll deal with this on my own, I guess.
Yeah.
It's my emotion. I'll take responsibility.
I am technically the default parent. I stayed home with the kids.
Yeah.
And so if that is a role that you are in as well, then you might feel this more so than your partner. And so I think that's why it is easy for me to just kind of speak more on this, is that I've had to do a lot of work on feeling this in the 7 years that we've had, our kids, is feeling, even though your partner's at work, they're not having fun, but they're not in it like you are. They get to go have this space, this freedom outside of the home.
Perceived freedom. But it's a job, so
right. It doesn't matter how much it doesn't make sense, but it does feel that way. Sometimes you do feel quote unquote trapped, confined into this space. And I work from the home. I have the kids at home. Like, where's my time for me? So I very much understand where maybe a lot of especially maybe women moms, but there are more dads that are becoming stay-at-home dads now, which is fantastic. And we can talk on that more. But when I noticed that I have not been taking enough time for myself, I notice when Mark expresses like, hey, I would like to go get a workout in today. And if I respond like, really today, like you couldn't have told me about this, you couldn't have planned ahead. Like when I start kind of getting, what's the word for that? Defensive, aggressive.
I don't know. Reactive. I don't know.
I will kind of go through that, and Mark will just kind of stand there, and
I just hold the space.
Yeah, and sometimes you'll respond a little bit. Sometimes I can see it in your physical expression a little bit. I can tell your body tenses. You kind of like
sometimes
take a deep breath. Sometimes you look confused, like where did this just come from? Because we were
sometimes I am.
Because I don't even know where it came from. But I notice when I kind of just move through it. Sometimes you just have to like word vomit and get it out.
Express, yeah.
So I notice when I get that initial expression out, I'm able to kind of like take a deep breath, and then I'm able to be like, whoa, where did that come from? And then I can reflect on like, yes, that's fine. Like, go work out. That's fine. And then I'm like, man, I need to do something for myself. I noticed in that moment, I'm like, okay, I'm feeling a little worked up and jealous that you're getting to go do this thing for yourself. Okay, so what am I going to do when you get back? What am I going to do for myself? Sometimes that's take a bath. Sometimes that's just go for a drive. Sometimes it's talking to a friend or watching a show or whatever I need to do.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of how that process works for me.
Well, and if I'm thinking like if I could do it the best I could do in that moment as your partner with how you're feeling, it would be just to hold space, and it would be to essentially welcome all the emotions and say, give me more, give it all to me, get it all out. Yeah. And so that you can really express it and not let it in as far as I hear it, but not let it emotionally, not be responsive to it and not let it emotionally impact me. Yeah. And some days I do that well, some days I don't.
Yeah. We're human.
Yeah.
It's okay. Because we all have our own shit that we're,
And I think another big aspect that helps people is and I think you do this naturally, and that is to think about what the other person wants and the importance it is to them.
Yeah.
And how it serves them and the relationship.
Yeah.
And, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to go work out, whatever, will make me live longer, which you're a fan of.
Yep. Want to keep you around.
Helps manage my emotions, exercise.
I know. That's an outlet for you, which is going to, in turn, you're going to come back and be a better partner.
Yes.
You're going to be a better dad. Like, you're going to show up better because you feel better. Exactly.
And there was one other thing. What was it? I was going to mention. I'll look better for you.
Fan of that. Yeah. And so there's holding space, and I just appreciate your ability to do that so much, because I know when I am able to just vent and get it out, usually I'm like, ugh, okay, take my breath. And then usually you just kind of look at me and you're like, are you done? Do you need anything? Do you want a hug? I'm like, yeah. And then we can just move through it and acknowledge that there's something that needs to be cared for. Like the other day, you took the kids to go to an event and you said, can you please do something for yourself while we're gone? Can you take a bath? Can you do something? Take a nap, whatever you need to do, but do something for yourself. And I did. It was really nice. Yeah. Sometimes we need that reminder too. Like, that permission almost. Like, we're adults, but we still need permission sometimes to care for ourselves.
I like to think of it from my perspective as a reminder.
Yeah, I know.
An open invitation for an opportunity for yourself, if you will.
Packaged very prettily.
Yeah, I don't like.
You don't like permission, but I think that is sometimes like.
I mean, unless
you need that boldness.
Yeah. No, I hear you. It is true.
So yeah, especially, you know, for moms, for parents that haven't done that, are trying to learn how to do that. Like, just given that permission, that okay, like you can do this.
Mm-hmm.
You're not being selfish.
No.
You know, because I know we've talked about this many times. You have to take care of yourself to take care of others.
Yeah. And so, and if it's a similar thing that keeps coming up, we want to communicate about it and maybe set better boundaries around it, or make a plan around it, right? Yeah. If there's an imbalance, then okay, then we need a plan for you, how to take space for yourself, and more of that. Yeah. And not just let it happen over and over, but like plan it out and prepare for it, and make it work for us.
I feel like this is a great point to recommend our relationship check-ins that can help you make that space for your relationship and for yourself. So, what's next?
Another idea is to practice compersion. And so calling it out and recognizing it and seeing what that feels like in your body. So we gave some examples of like where we naturally feel it, like a loved one does something and is rewarded and gets an award or something like that.
Graduation, wedding, like
anything. And we've seen those things. And so we want to practice those. We want to lean into those to kind of balance that out, because we know when we feel jealous. Well, you better start learning when you feel that compersion inside of yourself. Yeah. And really start understanding that unique feeling in your body as well.
Yeah. And when you notice it, I guess my invitation would be to sit with it longer than you normally would.
I love that.
Yeah. So you notice it and you're like, oh, this is what they were talking about. And just do a body scan and recognize, notice, where do you feel this? How does this feel? And just sit with it for, a little bit longer than maybe you would, because you'd feel it and then you move on through, because there's excitement going on, right? There's usually some sort of event. So you move through that, but just sit with it, because then it's going to be easier to identify each time.
Definitely. I love that. So another kind of idea about this is the difference between partners and the masculine and the feminine and whatnot. When you're feeling this, what's best for me is if I welcome and hold the space and take those emotions. What about the other way around? What am I looking to you for if I'm feeling that way? I prefer to sit with it a little bit more, and kind of naturally process through it.
What does that look like?
And not so much like the emotional outpouring, but it would be understand it, think about it, feel it, and do all the exercises of changing the dynamic around it.
Can you give us a deeper example?
Yes.
Can you share an experience?
I'm trying to think of one. I think at times it's close, if not jealousy, of when I'm really trying for something and then somebody else gets it, right? And I think can be a common thing. And it could be athletics or business or families or any part of that. And I like to sit with it, feel it, and kind of go through what is the emotional part of it and what's the logical part of it. What helps me? Is it me being upset, fearful of someone else and their success? Is that helping me at all?
Mm.
How can I motivate myself to do the same things? Or can I learn from it? And so, I tend to, my defense mechanism can be over intellectualizing. Sometimes it's a good thing. Sometimes it prevents me from feeling fully. But it is a tool that I use a lot. And I think for another opportunity for people, men, women, is to call friends and talk to friends about it.
Yeah.
And in a hey,
productive way.
Yeah, I'm not here to shit on anybody. I'm not here to do anything like that. I just want to express my emotions and be heard and kind of go through it and process through it.
Yeah.
So that's another opportunity, I think.
Yeah. I think just kind of summing that up is identifying what is it that you desire in that moment? What do you see? And then how can you get there? Or, take a step back and be like, okay, well, they've been doing this for X amount of years. I'm just at the beginning of my journey, right? And so I desire to be where they're at. And then you can flip that and be like, okay, I see what's possible.
Yes.
And so just a little perception change that kind of helps move you to the excited part,
Yeah. And that reminded me of our son at 7. He's kind of getting this concrete operational phase of growth and development. And, there's still some kind of black and white thinking, like, I don't know.
He can't do one thing. And he's like, well, I'm never going to be able to do this.
Well, yeah. Or, if he gets second and somebody gets first, well, he didn't get first.
Yeah.
That type of thing. And so trying to work with, and how do you teach a little person like this idea of managing kind of jealousy and compersion and like all this stuff. So as a parent, it's we've been thinking about it a lot, is how do we teach our kids and go through that, which has been a challenge.
We'll let you know when we figure it out.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, it's the same.
If you guys have suggestions, then please let us know.
I mean, it's the same steps we already talked about. Taking him through it.
He's just not developmentally there, though. So
that's probably true too. He's not quite ready for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll keep you posted on that one. It's a challenge.
Yeah.
I guess the one topic we haven't came up against yet is jealousy in the more big way. It has bigger emotions related to that, and that is partners with other people of opposite sexes.
Like past partners, is that what we're talking about? Or like interactions with Oh, like you're at a company party or something and somebody's like flirting with them or something.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Didn't know where to go. Okay. Yeah. That happens.
It sure does.
Okay.
Is there anything to say about it?
I don't know. Neither. We're both self-employed, so we don't have company parties.
I was wondering where you're going there, because I'm like, I know this is not a thing that I know about.
It's just every freaking rom-com movie. I don't know.
Now I see where you're going.
Or murder movie too.
Oh,
I don't know.
Is this like Snapped or like?
I don't know. I don't watch those.
Either.
No. So great topic.
Because I view that as probably a more emotionally charged topic.
Yeah. Definitely can remember when we first started dating in college.
Oh, uh-oh. Facial expression changed.
Anyhow, I just remember I can recall and I can feel those moments, and I feel shitty. Not so much now as in our marriage. We've grown a lot, we've matured a lot, we've done a lot of work.
It's taken a lot of time and effort.
Yeah, and again, it's what is happening in that moment that is bringing up this feeling for you. Are you feeling insecure? Are you projecting? Are you looking at this person giving your partner attention and you're comparing yourself to that other person?
Comparison.
So it's not necessarily the actions or the interaction between your partner and the person. Sometimes it's the story that starts manifesting in our mind that we're telling ourselves.
It's definitely the narrative that we start to put on it.
Yeah. And so taking a minute to pause and reflect, you could just go inwards a little bit more and say, like, okay, what is actually happening here? Is it your partner's response to that flirtation or that interaction? Then that needs to be, talked about in out of the moment when you're calm, not emotionally charged, right?
Yeah. For me, would be to ask the question, what were you receiving in that moment? What was your experience of that? Through curiosity rather than all the other emotions. And for the partner to be open and willing to answer those questions and to give words and feelings to that. Very challenging though.
Yeah. And also I'm kind of at the point now where I reframe it and be like, yeah, my husband's hot. Like, of course they're going to like give a little flirty smile, whatever. Like, cool. He's going home with me. And I think, again, because of the work we've done, when you become more secure in yourself and your relationship,
I would say I would even go self mostly
self. Yeah.
It's a completely normal emotion and it's kind of everyone feels it differently. So you could, honestly, you could be completely secure and happy and everything could be great, but you might have a bigger emotional response to jealousy or the fear of losing a partner.
Saying I haven't felt it. Yeah.
Well, and I just imagine that comes from past experiences.
Yeah.
Oftentimes. So
yeah. I like that because it's usually what it is. It's not what is happening in the moment. It is reminding you of something that you've experienced before. So that's when pausing and reflecting on it rather than reacting on it is super important.
All emotions serve us in some way, and we have to figure out how jealousy serves us. It does shine a light on what we desire, motivates us to say, how could we make this better? It can. Now, we have to make it do that for us.
Yeah. I like that though. Motivates us. Yeah.
Because ultimately the goal isn't to get rid of jealousy.
Yeah.
It's to use it, understand it, not run from it, experience it, and experience more compersion. And because that's turning towards the joy, and don't we really want that in our life? Joy and happiness sound wonderful.
Yeah, turn towards the joy. I like that.
So
I like this.
Anything else?
Not for me.
Me neither.
That's it. Well, thank you for sharing this topic. It was helpful for me and hopefully for our listeners. So thank you for joining us, and we will see you all next week.
Bye.
Bye. If you are wanting to create deeper connection within your relationship and enjoy more pleasure while doing so, then make sure you grab our free 4-step guide to help you create a weekly routine for reconnecting with your partner. The link is in the show notes.